It is time for me to get a new laptop. The B and the N don't work no more. That's usually time.
You need them.
That's usually when it's time to start looking into a new computer. I've had that for like.
It's like I gotta type and then put autocorrect.
Girl, trying to do Cousins.
Oh yeah,
Unleashed.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I need to find a lowercase m somewhere on this page so I can copy and paste real quick. Girl, it's a freaking struggle.
I'm dead. Your hair is cute.
Oh, this whole thing. Oh.
Your hair growing.
What? Okay, so then you know what you need to do with it. Just set it on the stove. Set it on the stove, and now is the time that you have to stay quiet, okay? Thank you. I gave her food. She said, thank you, Mommy. I said, why are you whispering? She's like, so I don't be too loud for you, Auntie Cousin. I said, she's not even here yet.
She was practicing.
I said, she's getting ready. Look, I'm an actor.
Stay ready, so I'm gonna get ready.
I tell everybody all the time. They're like, who are you getting this ready for? Patient, I just literally just signed it. They're like, oh, I didn't even know that. I said, stay ready and gotta get ready, cuz.
Period.
And then as soon as I get you in this room, how you doing? All right, cool. Lay down.
In and out. In and out.
Bing, bang, boom. Because I'm good at my job. Just say it with aggression. All right. It's Cousins Unleashed. Always get her off guard.
No, bro.
10 times out of 10, we're already talking about something and it's out of nowhere. I just like turn to the camera. And
no,
like, There's not even like an actual jingle. I was actually thinking about that of like making us a jingle. But then also kind of like doing it.
Forget it then. Hey, why not?
Deep,
no, for us. It is what it is.
All right, welcome back to Cousins Unleashed. I am Tia and
Toya.
Woo! We finally got her story time. I'm not even going to get into all of that.
Man.
Anyways, a great segue though. Today's topic.
What is today's topic?
Men. Now, I don't know if
I wish I would have known that.
She over there clapping for us. Baby, go have a seat. Oh, man. I know. I don't know if I intentionally neglected to tell you or I just got busy. And life just be lifing, you know?
And life has been lifing with these men right now. So it's like, oh, that's the topic today.
And you know what's hilarious? Because I was literally just talking to my friend. And I was like, nah, I think this guy's like a solid dude. Like he's I was like, nah, he's a married man. But we were making a joke and stuff. He's like, well, you never know. I was like, honestly though, I said the same thing about my last 2 husbands, and here I am single. So who's to really say?
Right.
Who's to really say that you have the best judgment? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's like, well, he said, well, at least you got the ring twice. Most girls dream about that their entire lives and never get it.
No, for real. Some girls get the ring and don't even go down the altar.
I said, well, I would much rather have better discernment than 2 rings because I never even wanted to have 2. I just wanted to get the one.
Right.
He's like, I get that. I was like, but I get where you're coming from, but also,
yeah, it's no.
I would no. Every girl dreams of 1 ring.
No, for real.
He was like, well, at least you got 2. And I was like, I didn't want 2. I just wanted 1.
Right.
I was just wishing and hoping and praying and waiting for the first one to act right. He didn't, so he got left. And then number 2 didn't act right, so he got left. And that's just how it goes.
That's how it goes.
I'm like, that's just how it goes. You don't act right, you get left. That's a bar. Men, right? So fun. Men are so much fun. Honestly, though, at least for me, for where I'm at now, like, I'm not interested in dating. 1, I'm literally too busy. I'm literally just way too busy to even think about that. And also, too, I tried it last year.
Didn't work.
0 out of 5 stars. Highly don't recommend at all whatsoever. I'm like, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. So the funniest one.
What?
Homie had 2 jobs. Didn't have a car.
You
And
got 2 jobs. No
right, I'm peeping it. I'm calculating, writing it down. Noted.
But hey, that's motivation.
Noted.
You keeping 2 jobs with no car. That's pretty good though. But
and you live at home with your brother, like in the apartment, right? I was about to say, hold on, let me finish. So, okay, so when you got stats like that, 2 jobs, no car, no kids, and you live with your sibling, it's not a huge deal of any of those, but all of those combined tell me that you're allocating your money elsewhere than on the things that are essentially adult responsibilities.
no, for real, because you got 2 jobs and you're living with somebody. So therefore, while you're living with somebody, you saving
You
a lot
have
of
a lot
money.
of money. You have
So
more
where
money,
is the car
and then
at?
you have 2 jobs on top of that, and no kids.
Right.
As far as you tell me. So I'm like, where are you allocating your money to? And then like, I said, the only time that I have free is literally between the time that I drop my daughter off at daycare before I gotta go to work. That's about an hour, hour and a half. I was like, we can go and like have coffee or whatever, just get to know each other. It's a first date. He's like, oh no, I don't drink coffee. That should have been a red flag number one.
Why?
If you don't drink coffee.
Oh, if you don't drink coffee, you don't drink coffee.
And that's fine.
But there's coffee spots that have hot chocolate, so we can still
there's
go to a
coffee spots
spot
that even
and
have
you can just
smoothies.
hot chocolate, or you can get some something.
I said,
Tea.
okay, that's fine. We can always like go and get smoothies or something. He's like, nah, that's cool. It's whatever. It's like there's a Jack in the Box down the way.
I don't want to go to Jack in the Box.
Alright. I don't 100% remember if he suggested the Jack in the Box or if I suggested the Jack in the Box because he said he doesn't do coffee, and I'm like, okay, well, I know a place that has coffee and other items as well. Most places have coffee and other stuff.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's whatever. So we make a plan to go to Jack in the Box and have breakfast, blah, blah, blah. I drive about 30 minutes to go and pick him up. Mm-hmm. And then we go to Jack in the Box. We get out of the car. I'm literally like just wearing some regular schmegular shoes that I got from like Shein. And he's like looking at my shoes. He's like, what kind of shoes are those? Excuse me, sir? I said shoes that I put on my feet and wear to work. Like,
right.
It doesn't matter what kind of shoes I don't care about the brand as long as they are comfortable for me to get through these freaking hours.
No, for real.
On my feet. So I was like, the shoes I put on my feet? And he was like, oh, I never seen no shoes like that before. And I was like, okay. Anyways. So we literally like go to Jack in the Box. Dining room's locked. I was like, whatever, that's fine. We get back into the car. We go through the drive-through. We both order combo breakfast meals. Mm-hmm. The total, I told you, the total comes out to $19.81. Literally comes out to $19.81. Sorry, y'all, that's my baby. She's learning. We're gonna talk about kids another day. That's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother episode.
Part 2, part 1, part 2.
Special guest, apparently, my daughter. But literally the total comes out to $19.81 as I'm pulling away. This boy gonna go, you think they could split the bill?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just a dub.
So, better discernment. Just wanted the one ring. I was like, what? He said, you think they could split the bill? I said, I think so. So as soon as we pull up, the guy tells me to order. This boy leans over my body.
Can you split the bill?
Can y'all split the bill? Dude,
That's so embarrassing.
Dude, at the window, he said, "What?"
Because normally in drive-thrus, you normally be like, "Oh, it's two different orders,
two
separate orders."
Right.
Like,
and I'm ordering it as if I'm assuming. Well, I always have money with me because I assume that I don't always automatically assume that they're gonna pay for me. I'm a big girl. I work. I got money.
I can do my own.
I can do my own thing. When it's that low of a number, though,
like, come on now, it's just a dub.
I'm not asking for $200-$300.
No, for real, because
I'm not
acting like my meal was $20 on its own. Like, this is
both of us.
Right?
Okay, cool. So I literally looked at the guy at the window. And he was like, "What?" I said, "2 separate bills, please. Thank you." He said, "Okay."
No, for real, because that's a blessing.
The entire time we're sitting there in the car, like having breakfast and stuff, didn't ask me anything about myself. And I'm like, I'm happy that you feel comfortable enough to like talk about yourself, talk about your family, all of this stuff. When you start getting into like brothers' wives' occupation, like your sister-in-law's occupation and what she has going on in her life, that might be a little bit too far for the first date.
Yeah.
Not even might be. That's very far for the first date.
Right, because we're supposed to be here to get to know each other. Not
now,
all the family drama.
Now you're showing me pictures of your brothers. This one has tattoos. This is the other brother that has tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. And this is my mom. This is a picture of my dad. This is my niece. This is my sister-in-law.
Oh, dang.
She does this and this and this. He was like, she does this, this, and this, and this, and this. I said, that's good. She sounds like she stays busy and being productive. Nah, she be doing too much. She always tired. She this and this and this and this. I was like, if you think she doing too much, you don't think I'm doing way too much. Especially with how tired I be. Wow. Girl. I was like, what? Okay.
That's crazy work.
You know what? But you know what? The Lord let him talk himself out of ever seeing me again.
Oh, God.
Because I kid you not, that was a Wednesday. And it was back when I used to have my therapy sessions Wednesday. So I kid you not, I saw that boy at like 7:30 in the morning. By 2:30 in the afternoon, it was great seeing you in person, but this just isn't going to work out as a romantic relationship. Have a great rest of your day, though. And he just texted me back a whole bunch of question marks. I said, yeah, okay, block. Boom. I'm good.
So I'm good.
I'm good. My therapist was like, so how did the date go? I said,
is she trying to go to me?
I said, no. We learning. We are learning. We are learning. But yeah, that was the funniest one last year. There's so many though. There are so many. Oh, I told you about the old boy who cussed me out and
cussed you out.
Yeah, he didn't like the fact that I had guy friends.
Oh yeah.
Boys are funny.
Boys is funny.
I'm like, we're supposed to be talking about men, but a lot of the men that we encounter nowadays,
men, boys, whatever the case,
have boy mentality. They have. Whenever I'm talking about a man and I say that he's a boy, I mean, like, with his emotional intelligence, he is behaving as if he is an adolescent. Come on. Only faithful man in my life. I've been with him for been with this man for about 13 years. And then, of course, the others start to follow. You tell me a story about a man in your life. She likes her man in her life.
Sometimes.
Well, That did not go as planned. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes, you know how men could be. It's just like, oh, I like you today.
Okay, so then
like
tell us how you met him.
Mm-mm.
How did you? No. So apparently we can't know anything about her man. He is a part of witness protection. So
he's not a part of witness.
I know, but apparently she ain't giving out no information about him. Witness protection.
Mm-hmm.
He done witnessed her. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. And now she's protecting his identity and information. I don't have anybody to talk about. I'm very single. The only man in my life is Jesus Christ. And I know y'all don't want to get into that.
Ain't much to talk about either. Mine's is still fresh and I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. You don't want to talk about it too much. I can say though, being in recovery and being in therapy and stuff has really helped a lot with like how I relate to the male species.
Okay.
Yeah, because this month will be 2 months of
don't get on
of not having sex, and then it's been 3 to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
When did we do this? About 3 or 4 years since I've been single. So I'm like, part of me wants a relationship. The other part of me is just like, I'm good.
I feel you because
I told my therapist, I was like, I'm good with not being in a relationship. I'm good with being by myself. He said, yeah, but that's not healthy. I said, yes, I understand. I'm just saying it's not healthy and I shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that
why it's not healthy? Because that's just showing that I'm happy with myself.
Because humans were made for connection. Humans were made to be in relationship with one another. At some point, there comes a time where, like, you were made to be in a romantic relationship. However, a lot of the times, like, our traumas, our perspectives, life just be lifing. It doesn't end up happening.
Right.
But I'm like, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. And I am A-okay with that.
Right. So
I'm like, it is what it is. A lot of my relationships now, especially with like men, are focused on like platonic friendship relationships. Yeah. Which is very hard, I might say, as being a single female. It's hard to make friends with single males because a lot of the times they are thinking that it may lead to something else, or like that, yeah. They think that eventually if I say that I'm your friend long enough, then hopefully it might change into something more, and then if it doesn't, then it'll just fizzle off and blah 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 blah. Or a lot of the times if you want to like hang out with them, then they think that it's something else. And right. I've come into that with a lot of my platonic male friendships and stuff.
And this is why a lot of times that's why men don't want their women to have male friends, because they know the intentions of another man. But it's not like that with every man, though. Because like a lot of times men really just be official friends.
They just want to be, they just want to be actual friends. Because a lot of the times too, and that's what sucks too, is like there's a stigma of like if single people are friends, then they might end up together and da da da. And I've run into this a lot, even with being at church and stuff. Is like they'll talk about like marriage and all that stuff. Oh, Tia, who are you interested in? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, nah, a lot of the guys that are in my life are just my friends. And then a lot of them, they don't know that they do that, but they'll unintentionally like place a weight on a friendship between a single man and a single woman to possibly end up as like husband and wife.
Yeah.
When the Lord probably only destined it to just be a friendship that you guys can both grow from. And that's where I've started like realizing with a lot of my friendships, especially from church and stuff, especially coming from a recovery from what I used to be.
No, for real.
And then trying to be like, okay, there's not going to be any physical thing. We are only grown in the Lord together, bruh, my dude, like to like start doing that in the male relationships that I have. I mean, honestly though, but I have started doing that, and the Lord has started to actually reveal, like, you actually do have a very healthy relationship with single males, and it's nothing like sexual based, and you actually are able to like talk to them and vent to them and all of that stuff. So that's a blessing. I don't want this episode to be like, oh, I hate men and this boy and da 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 da. Because just like there's a spectrum, excuse me, there's a spectrum of different types of women. There's a spectrum of different types of men.
Definitely.
I just had an encounter with the worst type of man last week. That's it. That's all I got. Like, well, because homie decided to come to the doctor's office and be gross, and he ended up putting his hands on me. And he's lucky that I didn't put my hands on him because I was the clock. I'm just saying I could be worse. Okay, like violence feels good to my flesh. Okay,
I'm done.
Okay, smacking somebody up feels amazing to my hand. I chose not to do that, and I chose to report it, and it was taken care of, and I kept my job. That's it. That's all I can do at the end of the day. But I'm like, but there are a plethora of different men. I didn't want this episode to be like, oh, my favorite type of man is this, and this is the type of man I'm looking for, and blah, 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 blah. Because first of all, I ain't looking. Second of all, like, there's so many different aspects of a man that are to be appreciated, and not even aspects of a man to be like, I don't like those podcasts where girls were like, this and this and this from a guy gives me the ick, and this and this and this from a guy gives me the ick. And I'm just like, you just don't like being happy. So if you don't have anything else to add, I think that's it. Really good. Yeah. All right. But we are going to call it a day. We have some special guests with us. This episode has been an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. At least a volume roller coaster, to say the least.
Right.
With this little son bitch, she's actually a girl, but she's a little son bitch. And then my child, she's a daughter of a bitch.
Like kids just being kids.
Kids are kids and kids are kidding.
Kids is kids.
The bills are billing and the kids are kidding.